Good evening, everybody. 大家晚安. My name is Heng Sure. Today is Monday, the 2nd of February. Here in the Gold Coast of Queensland, it's the 1st of February back in California. We're going to be investigating the Flower Garland Sutra's Ten Transferences chapter. So let's get started. 我们准备研究大方广佛华严经十回向品，我叫恒实，今天是2月初二。Okay, let's get going. Today, Gwyn is going to be requesting Dharma, so I'm going to ring the handbell 3 times and then invite Gwyn to do the Dharma request. 我准备敲眼镜敲3下，然后各位呢跟着我来一起行3个闻讯礼。然后 Gwyn 就准备请法。Okay, are we ready to start? Here's the bow. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. Okay, Gwyn, if you'd like to request Dharma, please go ahead and begin.
恭敬大德僧听，为此法会，济一切众生，经转妙法轮，教导我们如何了生脱死离苦得乐，速证无生。Will the Sangha with great virtue, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to leave suffering and attain bliss and end birth and death, and quickly realize non-birth.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Namo sadanto suchetoye olahadi sanmyao sanputoshe.
Namo sadanto suchetoye alahadi sanmyao sanputoshe.
无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。Supreme and wondrous Dharma, subtle and profound, rarely is encountered even in billions of eons. But now we see and hear it and accept it reverently. May we truly understand the Buddha's actual meaning. Okay, Gwyn, thank you so much for the Dharma request. Appreciate that. Welcome again, everyone. 欢迎各位来参加我们的佛学讲座。接下来我们都要迎请华严海会佛菩萨、天龙八部护法三圣，请他们领导场。So the next thing we do in our preliminaries here is invite the Avatamsaka Assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and the gods and the dragons in the Eightfold Pantheon to draw near and to bless each of us. So let's be sincere. Namo Tassa Bhagavato those vibrations go out. And we would like to acknowledge the Pomo people who practice their spiritual connections to the earth and all creation here on their ancestral land, that is the city of 10,000 Buddhas, for thousands of years, tens of thousands of years. Today we acknowledge them as traditional custodians and original storytellers of these lands. We offer our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and to all First Nations people whose sovereignty was never ceded. 我们恭敬地承认 Pomo 人是我们寺院所在地的传统行事者和守护人。我们向过去、现在和未来的长者们致敬，并且向所有从来没放弃主权的第一民族的原住民致敬。Bell sound wide resounds throughout 100 million worlds. The Buddha's lie is heard and spread all throughout the triple world. The wondrous sounds that everywhere fill the Dharma realm with peace. May those who hear it gain the strength to follow in faith the Buddha's path. 众生传3000劫内，佛法扬万亿国中，共寻其法界和平，利益报贪婪厚德。Okay, done. All right, keynote, put you away for now. Here we are. So, glad you're here with us. This is our weekly gathering to bathe our Dharma body, you could say, and our wisdom life in the sweet dew of the Avatamsaka's Dharma rain. How's that for an extended image? So, there are people who would say, there's no plot, there's no story, there's nothing I can relate to, not compassion, it's not, what is it? And those criticisms only come from a mind that is used to entertainment and things that the six senses can bring you. When we join to listen to the Avatamsaka, particularly the 9th transference, and boy, if you think this is esoteric, wait till we get to the 10th transference. It is indeed no plot other than the same plot repeated, which is Bodhisattva's best wishes for the world. And it is out there because it's hard to relate to. These are great Bodhisattvas who are doing this work. But if you can set aside that marketplace mind that wants to get something out of it and just, as I say, take a bath in the, just jump right in and immerse yourself in the incredibly nourishing, wholesome, ancient sounds of one of the world's exalted spiritual texts of all time, now in English. If that's something that appeals to you, then you can let go of the critical mind and just take this this opportunity to hear the sound of the Bodhisattva path, and be inspired by it. 有人批评说：“哎呀，用那么长的时间，90分钟在那儿听这个什么，就没有一个故事啊，没有一个脚本啊，也没有什么英雄啊，没有什么坏人啊，就是好像也太高了，我就没办法连接到我的每天的生活，何必呢？”如果有这种的怎么样市场的一种心态，就是说，有胜有利，有胜有败，有钱赚，可以赚钱的这种的市场的心态放不下的话，当然那就可能就不是你最理想用的90分钟。可是呢，如果 你知道我们六根所观想到的这个世界，我们六根所参与的世界，就是小部分这个人生的这个大多数是无形无相的，超过思想之外，没办法买，也没办法卖也没办法宣传那种的法身慧命的生活能可以说跳到这个像那个甘露水那个华严海会的海水里边去游泳或者飘飘在那儿，这个是难得的机会。这种智慧是没有过去，没有现在，没有未来，已经超过30就十方一直到心里那个地方，从那边听这个法那是钱买不到的OK， 好 ，Yeah, got the point. All right, welcome. Glad you're here. Let's see who's here. Got 100 friends already. That's good. We have, let's see here. BH Living. Good. Okay. Annie's here from Vancouver. Barbara and Ernie. Bob and Fran. Hope Fran's feeling better. Celeste is here. Lin Changqing is here from Taipei. Celeste in Hong Kong. Mr. E's in LA. Mr. Guo's in LA as well. Connie's in Santa Clara. Guoji Alameda. Ukiah. Cynthia's in Saratoga. Daisy's in Taipei. Another Daisy is somewhere. Mr. Ni is in Heilongjiang. Donna's here. Duke Leban's in Montreal. Fanny's in Seattle. Huali is, don't know, Seattle somewhere. Mr. Juan is in Beijing. Okay, James is in Sacramento. Jen's in Oregon. Jane's in Berkeley. Jenny's in Alameda. Jason's in California. Been there. Jenny's in Seattle. Katie's in Union City. Kelly is in Wampachong or San Francisco or Berkeley somewhere. Mr. Yip's in New Zealand. Okay. Let's see here. Linda's in San Francisco. Ling Feng's in Seattle. Good. Mai's in San Jose. Min's in Bothell, Washington. Okay, let's see here. Songfu's in Elk Grove. Stella's in Santa Clara. Terry's in Texas. All right. Terry is in Ukiah. A couple Terrys here. Both of them with an I. Tony is in Maryland. Tran's in somewhere. Guoji he's listening twice. CTDB. Willie's in Virginia. Good. All right. Iwan's in Ukiah. Great. 好的 OK 那就求佛分在台北 OK 然后呢有雨晴家在北京还有什么地方吉林唐山哈尔滨山东广州台北辽宁 OK good good job glad you 欢迎嘿那么唐山深圳山东大连北京湖南 OK 好的哈尔滨西安黑龙江就说鸡西很多地方浙江新北市台湾今天人多了欢迎陕西宝鸡广州还有哪里就说吉林安徽黑龙江河北黑龙江北京湖北河北江苏哈尔滨江苏海南西雅图中国哪里哈尔滨就说那个就是黑龙江吉隆坡辽宁广东深圳台北黑龙江台北 and 河南 OK 欢迎 glad you're all here wow that's people get tired of that maybe I'm scaring you away when you listen to that I hope not because I really enjoy finding out where everyone's from okay I want to give you a preview and let you know that the other half of our weekly program, the stories of Master Xuanzang in his pilgrimage to India, he has arrived at Nalanda. He's there. So he's made it took him nearly 4 years, 3.5 years of travel, constant travel, risking his life on the tallest mountains, the coldest ice storms, the driest deserts, and he made it. He survived. And he's just about to meet his teacher for the first time. So the story of his meeting his teacher requires a little bit more time than usual. So we're going to give a bit more time to the telling of that story today. 就说我们节目呢有2个部分，一个是华严经十回向品，一个是玄奘大师的故事，他的外传。那么他在故事里边就到了那兰陀大学，达到目的地，到了印度，还没有介绍，还没有认识他的老师，他的就是他追求的这种这个师父，所以那就今天，因为他们的会面，他们的介绍是要讲的比较彻底，比较长，所以呢，我们时间给多一点来研究玄奘大师的故事。Okay, here we go. Coming right up. Let's dive in that Avatamsaka ocean. Here we go. 以无障无缚解脱心入普贤菩萨行门，得无量法界，身为悉知，演说一切法界，身为悉知，入广大法界，身为悉知，分别不思议法界，身为悉知，分别一切法界，身为悉知，一念遍一切法界，身为悉知，普入一切法界，身为悉知，知一切法界无所得，身为悉知，观一切法界无所爱，身为悉知，知一切法界无有生，身为悉知，于一切法界现神变，身为悉知，如是等一切法界，身为悉，以广大智，皆如实知。They all realize Samantabhadra Bodhisattva's practices with a liberated mind, free from attachments and bonds, attaining extremely subtle wisdom of countless Dharma realms, extremely subtle wisdom to explain all Dharma realms, the extremely subtle wisdom to enter vast Dharma realms, the extremely subtle wisdom to discern inconceivable Dharma realms, the extremely subtle wisdom to discern all Dharma realms, the extremely subtle wisdom to pervade all Dharma realms within a single thought, the extremely subtle wisdom to universally enter all Dharma realms, the extremely subtle wisdom to know all Dharma realms are unattainable, the extremely subtle wisdom to contemplate that all Dharma realms are free from obstructions, the extremely subtle wisdom to know that all Dharma realms do not come into being, and the extremely subtle wisdom to manifest spiritual transformations throughout all Dharma realms. With vast wisdom, they know as they really are the extreme subtleties of all Dharma realms, such as these. Okay, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. Okay. So, usually 10. Today, 11. 11 what? Dharma realms that respond to Shenwei Shiji's extremely subtle wisdom. Okay. So, this is a vow. There have been many of these. There's more to come. And each vow is long, big. They arise from the minds of bodhisattvas who have cultivated and who have merit and virtue to dedicate. And this is a wish. Just like we do, I don't know, how do you dedicate your merit? However you do it, This is the same as that, only it's from the mind of a ninth dedication level bodhisattva. So this is legendary, long, multi-leveled, multi-layered, profound, and it works. He can do it. So 这个前边很多无着无缚解脱回向，后边还有很多无着无缚解脱回向，而且呢，这个是从第9回向菩萨的心里所发的一种回向愿，跟你每一天你怎么样回向，跟你每天回向的愿力没有两样的，一样的。可是这个他们这些菩萨呢，他们发的回向愿，哇，好几层，好几来龙去脉，好多这种演变才发完了。然后呢，还有一点，这个回向愿呢会见效，会到众生的心里，我们都会收到了，然后跟那位菩萨有缘了，然后他的愿力都会成就了，成功。Okay, so this is about two things that we repeated 10 times, 11 times. Extremely subtle wisdom and Dharma realms. I guess you could also say it's about Samantabhadra because all these are. Bodhisattva says, may all beings realize Samantabhadra's practices and do so with a liberated mind free from attachments and bonds. That's the wish. 他一起头就说，希望一切众生都可以用无着无缚解脱心，就进入普贤菩萨的行门。一者礼敬诸佛，二者称赞如来等等，就是那个。OK， 好了，然后这个是一个总括，然后呢，那个别就是那个细节，就说得无量法界的身为细致，10个法界的回向愿，10个身为细致的回向愿。So we get 10 extremely subtle wisdoms and 10 Dharma realms. Each Dharma realm has a different modifier. Countless Dharma realms. All Dharma, explaining Dharma realms, entering Dharma realms, discerning inconceivable Dharma realms, discerning all Dharma realms, etc. And each of these is extremely subtle wisdom. Is there anything that is unique about these? This one is, he wants you to be able to pervade Dharma realms in a single thought. The next one is, he says, I want you to be able to everywhere enter Dharma realms. The next one is, while you do that, you understand that you can't get them. There's nothing that, you don't even have a passport when you enter and come out. The next one is that you understand how these Dharma realms have no walls, they have no fences, they have no borders. The next is understanding that these Dharma realms don't come into being, which is at this point, it's very easy to say, oh, forget it. Wait a minute. What am I doing? I can enter them, but they don't exist. What? Right? And the last one is manifest spiritual transformations in every Dharma realm. Okay, we got all that. What's going on? These, let's translate that much. 就说以无着无缚解脱心入普贤菩萨行门，然后因为那个关系，你就可以得无量法界的身为细致，然后呢，得演说入分别一切一念变普入知观 之余，right 就10个动词都包括法界的身为系之。好的，那么这个是，尤其是怎么说？知一切法界无有生，虽然它无有生，你都可以铺入了，是不是自相矛盾的？不是。Okay, so interesting that you can enter them anywhere, but they don't exist. Is that a contradiction? Not. It's not. What's a Dharma realm? So this is a different kind of holding of the mind to understand Dharma realm. So to say I understand, I don't, but I've got a hypothesis. I have a supposition, so see what you think. There are 10 Dharma realms. They divide into 2 kinds. 6 of them come about because karma takes you there, or your vows lead you there. 4 of them are there because you have cultivated away the self. So there's 6 ordinary and 4 sages. Dharma realms. You're familiar with them? We can see 2 of them. Some people will tell you they can interact with a 3rd or even a 4th. And if you see them and appreciate them, you can say there's the Ashura's Dharma realm is really there too. What am I talking about? Humans. Renfaji, we know humans. I'm assuming most of us are in that one. 2, animals. We can see animals. 3, some people will tell you that they have a relationship with God or gods. They talk to God. Okay? Some people will tell you they see ghosts. So there's 4 out of 6. Ashuras, that's 5 out of 6, right? Ashuras, not so much. But even so, it might be the way Master Hua said, if you recognize Ashuras, you see them in the realm of athletics, constant competitors. You see them in the realm of law enforcement. Cops and robbers both can be Ashuras. You see them in the Department of Defense, military people. Those are Ashuras. You can even see them in animals realms, where some animals are just aggressive and can seem to exist to fight. We have rainbow lorikeets here in Australia that might fit that description. So those are the Dharma realms. But do we define Dharma realms because of the beings that live there? Is that the way it goes? Or is it when you'd ask Shifu, how do you lose your human body? Or if you're, for example, let's say a horse, you want to come back to the human realm, how do you regain a human body? So that's very interesting, and Shifu would talk about that. The Dharma realms are not so much places as they are states of mind. Shifu's answer would be often, he has his verse called the 10 Dharma realms are not beyond a single thought of your present mind. And the way you fall out of a human body into other bodies is you are greedy, you're angry, or you're deluded. You can become a hell being, a ghost, or an animal. So thoughts are what define a Dharma realm. 这个法界哈，我们知道有10个，10法界不离一念心。法界分2种，有6梵4圣，是不是？这个6梵呢，因为业风的关系，所以叫你脱胎来生回来是受伤了，因为你以前所做的事，现在火报还子受啊，所以那个是6梵。 地狱、恶鬼、畜生人和修罗天法界。四圣呢，就是因为你少了东西了，少了什么东西呢？少了我，你把那个我相、我见，把它修没有了，修的越来越少，越来越少，就没有了。破我知就放下看空了就可以了。那你就可以入什么罗汉道那个罗汉法界这个比支佛法界菩萨法界、佛法界，那不是升到那里，那就是修到那里，因为少了那个我知我相，所以就无明破了那就脱胎了，就不再受生。所以六犯四圣好了，那么是一个地方吗？你看那个六犯里边，我们可以看到多少个人法界，没问题了。动物、畜生法界啊，那就你家里养的金鱼啊，或者那个蟋蟀啊，或者什么猫，对，现在蟋蟀没有吧？现在有鸟鸟，或者家里养的狗狗啊、猫猫那个是两个。第三个，有的人就说可以跟上帝讲话、祈祷，希望上帝接受我的祈祷，然后对我下恩。那个是三个法界，天人，有的就说做梦没有了那么鬼法界有没有人看？哎，大家说希望不要了罢了。有的一样的就会见鬼，所以那就人、畜生、天、鬼和修罗呢？如果我们跟着上人的解释，就知道修罗法界也会看到，就说害春之马那匹马就是修罗性的马，修罗它更不是一个地方，也更不是一种身体，它会参与不同的这个法界将军或者军人也可以做修罗，或者呢这个土匪强盗还有警察都是属于修罗。所以什么叫法界呢？法界不是个地方，是一种心态。上人给我们写那个施法界不离念心，他说，你愿意做畜生，你就要有贪心；你愿意做恶鬼呢，你就要嗔心；你愿意做地狱里边，你就不信因果，就有痴心。所以看你的心态，就知道你会就换入哪一种法界。不过因为佛教的关系，OK 我等一下。So now one of the most interesting things here. Thanks for waiting here. Are you guys learning Chinese? You non-Chinese speakers? I hope so. My Chinese is not the best to model after, but at least nobody's in doubt that I enjoy studying Chinese. I love the study of Chinese. Okay. So here's an interesting thought. The somebody could probably write a dissertation on what are the Dharma realms and what is the extremely subtle wisdom here. One thing about the Dharma realms that I think is very interesting is there is mobility between them. There is movement from one to the other. It is not the case that if you find yourself in the human Dharma realm, you can never become a god, or that you have never been an animal. Other religions don't say such things. This is the Buddha Dharma's wisdom. Buddha's wisdom as he looked at the cosmos where all of this action happens and described the six paths as a wheel, turning like this. And 师父 would say, 赫然于天，忽然于地，忽然走恶鬼，忽然走畜生. He would say, suddenly we're in the heavens, now we're back on earth. Suddenly we're a deva, now we're an animal. Right? So that description of these states of mind, states of being, are very, very powerful. I think I really admire this. 所以这点大家要注意哈，跟其他的宗教信仰不一样的地方就在这儿啊。那个印度教啊，甚至于犹太教啊、基督教，人法界没有办法做天法界，畜生法界怎么会变成人法界呢？没有这种上下的这个移动，不会变了你的这个命运。他们有这种的讲法。佛教呢，他说不但有这种换位这种现象，而且呢，常常在那儿变了，好像一个轮子。所以六道轮回就是从这个道理。师傅都会说：“哎呀，忽然在天，忽然在地，忽然做畜生，忽然做恶鬼，这样子。”所以不但这种位置，哪一个法界，哪一个法界，呃可以动，可以离开，可以进入，而且呢，这个根本的性质就是改变，常常在那儿改变，看我们懂不懂爱惜福报，懂不懂修立功立德，那就知道保持这个三归五戒了啊，无戒十善，那就知道我们在哪个法界多久了。Okay, there we go. So Shifu would tell us that the key to, if you take all of the Dharma realms or the six and the four as a kind of you're in the elevator and you're going up and picking the floors, the key to which floor you get off of the elevator is how well, no matter where we are, which one, how well we cultivate the way. If we can cultivate blessings and give the blessings away, if we can establish merit and virtue and give that away, then we'll hold on to the wholesome qualities wherever we are and be creating an abundance of blessings and merit for ascending through the various Dharma realms, all the way up to the heavens. A lot of the Avatamsakas talk about the heavens has to do with not leaving, not falling out, staying there because you continue to cultivate. And interestingly, Chakra, the chief among gods, one of his major jobs in the heaven of the 33 there is waking devas up to the reality that if they don't continue to cultivate, it's bye-bye. You'll see you later. You'll fall out of the hills and wind up elsewhere with your Dharma realm passport in your hand. So that's really interesting. Who would think? 研究这个《华严经》，最近我们在那个入法界品哈，那个知道第10天实体观音，他的工作，他的怎么说，他的事情，在天上33天，他花了很多时间令天人觉悟，让他们不要糊里糊涂，不懂，完全100%在那儿享受，把他们的天上的福报享受完了，享尽了，就堕落，离开那个 天法界就堕落啊！想不到你做天主，你做上帝哈，你的工作就是要教人修行，免得再见又到六道轮回啊。Yep，身为细致就在那儿。So the extremely subtle wisdom is to allow you, no matter which Dharma realm you're in, to stay there, to cultivate and ascend. You're ascending, but you're not falling. You're not losing. You're using the blessings and the merit and the virtue that you have in a wholesome way to benefit others. That way, you like bodhisattvas can arrive in the Dharma realm because of your vows, not because of the wind of karma. 如果我们修这个身为细致，用普贤菩萨的行门修身为细致，那到哪一个法界我们就因为发愿、称愿再来，不是因为业风把我们吹到哪里去那个时候就有把握了如是当一切法界身为细，以广大智皆如实知，你就认识，用广大的智慧就认识这个一切法界的身为细。If that's us, then we can use vast wisdom to recognize the extremely subtle wisdom and knowledge of all the Dharma realms. And you know how to travel through them without getting lost. Okay, now we're only halfway through that vow. Can you believe it? That's half of one Bodhisattva, ninth transference Bodhisattva's vow. 好了，那第九回向你菩萨的回向愿呢？前半部还有后半部，你看没有？身为细，来 ，Here we go。于法自在，是普贤恒，令诸众生皆悉满足，不舍于义，不着于法，出生平等无碍之智，知无碍本，不住一切法，不坏诸法性，如实无染，犹若虚空，犹若虚空，随顺世间。其语言说，开真实义，是即灭性，于一切境，无异无住，无有分别，明见法界，广大安利。Awesome. Attaining self-mastery of all phenomena, they manifest the practices of Samantabhadra and satisfy all living beings. Neither contradicting principle nor attaching to phenomena, they bring forth impartial, unobstructed wisdom. Knowing the source is unobstructed, they do not cling to any phenomena. Not affecting the nature of phenomena, they're intrinsically free of defilement like empty space. In accord with the world, they reveal ultimate principles through language and unfold the nature of absolute stillness. Free from attachments, grasping, and discriminations of all states, they clearly see the Dharma realm existing in its vastness and harmony. They know that all worlds and all phenomena are equal and non-dual, free from all attachments. This is incredibly wonderful Dharma, boy. This is the middle way. This is Prajnaparamita. 这个法太微妙，是中道了义，也是般若大法，般若波罗蜜多。So, what does it mean to 于法自在? Attaining self-mastery of all phenomena. Honestly, that English doesn't mean anything. If I read that English, I don't get anything out of it. But it's really, really hard to translate. Look, 4 characters. As for Dharma, they are free. Got it? No. Okay. When it comes to Dharma, they have self-mastery. How does that work? Regarding all things, they are very comfortable. Got it? No. Yeah, tough. 4 characters. Here, you, the problem is with zizai and also with fa. So fa, small d, dharma, means the world as we know it, the world that our senses encounter. And to be zizai with the world that our senses encounter, you kind of have to imagine what that could mean. Are you like a fish in the water? It's like you can swim through atoms unobstructed. You can disembody and then re-embody, et cetera, et cetera. How does your imagination imagine? It's like when you have self-mastery, when you are Ishvara, when you are free and easy in reality. Okay, that's what these bodhisattvas are. So the biggest obstacle to that state would be what? Your body. Because these bodhisattvas, this is stage number 9, usually it's between stage number 5 and number 6 in all of these bodhisattva decanates, the 10 faiths, the 10 practices, the 10 abodes, abidings, 10 dwellings, 10 practices, 10 transferences, 10 stages. In each of those 10, between 6 and 7, between 5 and 6. When you go from dhyana to prajna, your body is different. Your samadhi has now transformed your relationship to earth, air, fire, and solid, liquid, warm, spacious. That's zizai. And now it doesn't matter what's in front of them, where they are, the self is gone. It's emptied out. They can de-exist, dematerialize anywhere, and yet their bodies and their vows still function. How bizarre, how incredible is that? That's what's going on here. So, tough state, tall state, right? Hard to imagine, visualize, and yet that's the Avatamsaka, and we still have, the last transference and then 10 stages and then 2 more, equal enlightenment, wonderful enlightenment to go. This is not even Buddha. Amazing. 好了，就说于法自在，怎么说呢？4个字。不过他说行藏的意思非常之深。于法就说实际性，你的6根所解除的实际，有天有地，有黑有白，有夜晚有白天，这个实际，那就是法，三罗万象，一切的一切。对于这个东西或者这个现象呢，你就自在。哇，自在，我自在了。什么叫自在啊？自由。可是自由呢？这种菩萨的自在呢，不是单单自由，就是不是为所欲为。第一呢，他的身体不成障碍物；第二呢，他的我相，他心里的障碍、执着也不成这个障碍，真的自在。他会因上。I'm going to run out of vocabulary here. We need all my team here. need Ling Feng and Yihuan and the whole gang here to help me out. So 菩萨就会隐身呢 disappear， 然后呢再来成身呢 reappear， 它会 dematerialize， 它会入这个地大，就跟就从水大出来，它都入火大，从空大又出现了，这样子，那就叫自在，而且心里就没有执着，也没有喜欢，没有不喜欢，所以很自在。你看这种的自由，对于一切的境界，参罗万象，什么都没有一个事情，没有一个情形，他就糟糕，或者想不出来，怎么办？那就叫依法自在。你看菩萨，这就是第9回向的菩萨，他还没到家了，可是他有这种的啊，这种受用。十普贤行告诉我们如何修行，根据普贤菩萨的修道，令诸众生皆悉满足。Okay, they manifest the practices of Samantabhadra and satisfy living beings. How powerful are these practices of Samantabhadra? Those 10 favorites that we recite every day. Now, look at the Prajnaparamita. They don't contradict principle, so they're really there in theory, and yet when they put it into practice, the phenomenon, their functions, when they don't have to follow the rules, but they are completely within the rules as they do things, teaching. They bring forth impartial, unobstructed wisdom and know how to teach, which is what they're doing. They know the source is unobstructed, and yet the source that it produces, they don't cling to it. So what would be a source? That would be like the roots under the ground of a tree, and yet when the apples come out, they don't cling to that. They're able to use it or not use it. They don't affect the nature of phenomenon, and yet there's no mistakes. There's no self in there. They're free of defilement, just like empty space. When you teach from this point of view, man, you are skillful. Okay? This is the 9th transference, Bodhisattva. They accordeth the world to reveal ultimate principles through language, and yet I like the verb unfold. 随顺时间 they unfold, let's see here, in accord with the world, they 其语言说 they still talk, they use language, 开真实义 to show ultimate principles, 失寂灭性 and what was this one? Unfold. Okay, it was 是 unfold, show, unfold, sort of. So they accord with the world, just like normal folks, and they teach ultimate stuff using language. But as they do that, what they're talking about is what it's like beyond birth and death. And they're trying to get us to follow, to accept it and try it on our own. That's what bodhisattvas do. 然后, let's see here, free from attachments and discrimination, they see the Dharma realm existing in its vastness and harmony. They know that worlds and phenomena are equal and non-dual, free from attachments. Boy, they can teach. 好了，菩萨在那儿他们于法自在，就会实现普贤行，令众生自己修这个法就满足然后就是般若法。般若波罗蜜多，你们知道就说有好像自相矛盾，绝对法不会障碍。好比说，你说般若大法是什么呢？真空不爱，妙有不爱，妙有不爱真空，好像是个矛盾，不是，因为心里没有限制。心里没有二法， OK，so 好了，就说不舍于义，不着于法，两个对待不会障碍。出生平等无碍之智。好，他们是无碍本，不过不住于一切法啊。他们看到一棵树的根，就是他们知道一棵树的根部在地下，一样的就会生出苹果啊。我相信你挖开地啊，你就会看到那个根。可是你看这个苹果，虽然树根在地下，你相信有的话就有果，有因有果。你相信不相信呢？他们都会说这样子教化我们啊，不坏法性，知识无染。什么叫无染呢？就说什么叫染物啊？这个法性呢，就是我见我相，他们已经看破放下了。所以呢，他们知道佛性就像虚空，可是呢，一切法还是可用教化我们。随顺时间讲话是可以讲话，需要就像普通人一样的他们用那个语言来解释真实义啊，目的是什么呢？告诉我们生死外边都有不生的地方，与一切境无异无住，没有分别啊。不可思议，这种积久回向的菩萨，明见法界广大安宁，了诸世间及一切法平等无二，离一切障，般若波罗蜜多。So this is they know that worlds and phenomena are equal and non-dual, and they're not attached. That's that's amazing. Okay, just I mean, right? This is really Zen-y. You Zen types like me. This is Chan. If we only had this paragraph of the Avatamsaka Sutra left, it would be worth the price of admission, to say the least. This is the Prajna Dharma, and it's it's a sound that you recognize instantly because it's ultimate. It's not attached anywhere. And if you compare it to other religions' teachings, those other religions' teachings, you are supposed to believe in the God or the prophet. And if you don't, you're in trouble. And you can be called a heretic. You can be called an infidel, not true, infides, not true. All those things, because why? You get stuck. You have to cling to certain things. Dogma. This is beyond dogma. This is what makes the Buddha Dharma the ultimate teaching, right in this paragraph. So, yeah. And it's still a transference. May all living beings have these, get here. This is incredible. Yeah, this is also why the Avatamsaka is, Shifu would say, is the biggest because it contains how many passages like this? And this is the Vajra Sutra right here, this non-attachment to anything or any principle either. And yet what they're doing is they're teaching you how to be absolutely still. Shi ji mie xin, right? This is what the goal of explaining this is to explain stillness. And do you do it? They can do it with words. They can use language to explain the ultimate meaning. Incredible how hard that is. Yeah, so this is the real sound. Amazing. And there it is. It's just one more paragraph in a long chapter of incredible. 在这一段，这也是第九回向的菩萨的一个愿。 一个回向面的下半部。不过在这段经文里边所讲的是什么？是般若波罗蜜多，这个无所着，这个空就空了啊这种是其他的宗教找不到的。其他的宗教里边都有一些绝对不可以一定要信。你不信呢，你就是一个不信的一个叛徒，可以杀这样子或者就说你是一个就是伪教的什么佛法，尤其汉传佛教、大乘佛法呢，没有一个执着，真的解脱了，到究竟解脱，这就是这种的空假中什么都不执着了，这是禅宗的最高的地方，就是也是在心里。所以你听到这种的般若的道理，哎呀，我的我的 radar 叮叮叮叮叮叮，哦，这个是最高。I go for this stuff. This is ultimate emptiness, and this is the sound of the Dharma. That other religions don't touch, sadly. Okay, now I said that I was going to give a little bit more time to Master Shenzong because there's a wonderful encounter here. So let me do that right now. 我说要 we looked at 2 vows already today, so there's many more to go, and it's more 身为细致 lots more. 前边还有很多身为细致我们讲的是2个月下个礼拜继续。我想把玄奘大师的故事再讲多一点。今天 I want to give a little more time to Master Shenzong. Here we go. Right here. Okay, so where is he? He is in Nalanda University. He's made it. He has made it. Just a moment here. Nalanda, saved in favorites. There it is. Okay. Here it is. Get a sense of India. Mother India. Here we are. This is northeastern India. The state is Bihar, one of the poorest states in India. It's close to Nepal. You can see. You don't have to go very far. The Buddha was born in what is now Nepal. Here is Bhutan, and here is Sikkim. Here's Tibet. Here's China. So we know that Master Shenzong traveled all the way from Xi'an in Shanxi province up here. He traveled from here, Xi'an, all the way to here in Nalanda. And look at how far he moved his body. 哎呦，玄奘大师从西安这里长安开始五台山不是，从西安就走那么远，哇，这么辛苦，4年，脚步走路，行脚到这儿，到那兰陀。那兰陀呢，靠近就是在比哈尔州靠近尼泊尔。佛陀呢，那个太子是在尼泊尔出生，现在的尼泊尔。So，然后呢，他就到这里。So he came here. This was his destination. And we've looked at these for a couple of weeks. This is really the remains of what he saw, although these remains might not have been there in the Tang, because these were destroyed for 500 years later. 大师所看到的不一定是这些古迹呢，因为它是唐朝、唐前、唐初到了这个那兰陀给火烧了，给毁灭了，是在最后第11世纪。不过地方是一个地方，可能就是这个。有图书馆，有宿舍，有佛堂，有整个人这个有农夫在那儿种菜，喂给几千个和尚、学生、老师，还有这个接近道场的一切人。So were these the actual ruins that Master Shenzong saw? Don't know. Similar, that the place is the same. They had to grow crops to feed the thousands of students and faculty and staff that run a monastery and a library and Buddha halls and all of the support for a monastery like this. So this is Nalanda, and that's where he is. Close this. Okay, let's zoom in here. Here we are. Here's Bodh Gaya, Bodhi tree. See, it's not far. Here it is. Take a deep one. Hotel Nalanda. Hotel Nalanda Guest House. Bank of Baroda, Nalanda Library. Here we are. Much of the actual campus that Master Shenzong saw is still under the ground, is still buried. Because once they started to dig it, to uncover it, they discovered that there were people living on top of the grounds of Nalanda were so extensive that farmers and shopkeepers and all have built on top of them. And now they're using satellite imagery to correspond with the records from the past and map out the actual area that was Nalanda. And they know that what they've uncovered is something like a third of what's available. But there's you could say the political will is not there to dig it up and throw all those farmers out of their womb. So that's it's tragic. Yeah. So 就说here are the ruins. This is what we were looking at. 就说他们现在用太空的显微镜望远镜就知道，你看这个我们刚刚看到的这些图片是这个地方，这是当时的玄奘大师当时看到的。他们知道现在从太空圈往下看，现在他们挖出那个考古的挖出，现在是1/3，就说在地下还有2/3，可是因为这边都有 这个农场啊，都有房子啊、城市啊，他们不可以就为了考古、为了研究佛教的地方，就把告诉这些人要搬走，没办法，很可惜，很可惜。在比哈尔政府的名誉并不是很光亮，所以政府的建议呢，不是大家都听的。Also the reputation of the government is not so great. So many people are skeptical about any kind of governmental program. So in order to buy the land from the peasants who are living on top of it and the farmers and the merchants is beyond the budget of the government, even if they could get their approval. How sad. So Nalanda Old University main gate, you come in here and travel over here to garden, to road to enter the museum, monastery number 5, number 6, temple number, yeah, so 哇，很大很大，真的这边我们在的时候，我们就去朝拜。我们有一个学者，在 New Delhi 一个大学，就说，哎，我们啊就遗憾，如果有机会，就挖出来考古这个整个所有的那兰陀大学，他说哦，佛教的历史都会进步。So when I was there on a pilgrimage, we had a professor from archaeological professor from a university in New Delhi who said, he said if we could, whoops, sorry. He said if we could possibly dig up all of it that's there, just move everybody off it. He said this would be a miracle of archaeology. This would move Buddhist studies forward by leaps and bounds. He says it's not going to happen. 仍差20人，非老非少，先解经律，唯一其整者，将法师参正法藏，几戒先法师也。众共尊重，不斥其名，号为正法藏。Then a number of 20 monks who were neither too old nor too young, they were well learned in the Tripitaka and they're good in their deportment. They were ordered to accompany the master to see the right Dharma keeper, the Venerable Shilabhadra. Out of respect, the monks didn't call him by his name, but they gave him the title Keeper of the Right Dharma. 于是随众入夜，既见放矢师资，物尽其境，一比一事，西行走步，屋足顶礼，问讯赞叹气，法藏令广夫床坐，命法师几诸僧坐。坐气，问法师从何处来？报曰：从支那国来，欲意学。与其论 The master went with the monks to see him, and having seen him, worshipped him as a teacher with utmost respect, meaning bowed. He crawled on his knees, he prostrated himself in accordance with their rites, and bowed to his feet. When he bowed and praised the teacher, the right Dharma keeper ordered seats to be prepared for the master and the other monks. After they had seated themselves, he asked the master, "Where do you come from?" In reply, the master said, "I came from China to learn the Yogacara Bhumi Shastra from you, sir." Okay, everybody got that much? Seems pretty straight. Now, I've seen there's a recent Chinese movie made with a big budget and some famous stars, which is pretty good. It's not, there are several movies about Xuanzang, and they're uneven in quality. Some of them, Master Xuanzang looks like a rock star. He looks like a movie star. They picked the actor because he was really, really handsome. He doesn't look like a monk. He's got too much makeup on him. But the monk, the actor who they got to play this recent large budget film is pretty good. He's good looking, but he's got inner qualities, you can tell. So he's much more believable as Master Xuanzang. And the way that they depict this meeting is quite wonderful. It looks, you can imagine that Master Xuanzang is actually excited to see his teacher. Here we go. Show you just a little bit of this. I know it went here. We're going to optimize it for video. Here we go. Optimize. Let's see here. Auto frame my video. Is that the one? Let's see.
终于来到了韩国，终于走进了心中的圣殿。我来了，我来了。
是法师啊，有演的 video 吗？
那不错了。So that's interesting, isn't it? 那个很有趣啊，我相信他会有那种 诚心. So I think I believe that he is that sincere. It looks to me like I'm a believer that after 4 years of birth and life and death effort, of absolute, utter, total effort, that when he finally arrived, that he would behave like that and look like that. He looks like I made it, you know. 我觉得这种的有这种生命危险的这种旅游，除了这种究竟的力量才能到达那个地方，一个法师都会怎么样诚心，就看到他师父一心一意求法究竟到了，所以他的表现就不错了。So he was seeking the Dharma, right? This is what a Dharma seeker who has given up everything for the sake of the Dharma. He might just do just like that. So, okay, what happens next? 温以体气，唤弟子佛陀巴多罗，即法藏之旨也。年也演70语，博通经论，善于言谈。On hearing this, the right Dharma keeper shed tears and called for Buddhabhadra, who was his own nephew, more than 70 years old, thoroughly learned in the Tripitaka and eloquent in discussion. 法藏语曰：如可为众说我3年前病恼因缘. He said to him, you can tell the monks how I suffered from illness 3 years ago. Okay. Now, the story that he tells is 1 page, 2 pages, 2 long pages. So we don't have time to hear the whole story, but we saw a cinematic version of how this might have happened. So think about it. Have you, I don't know how many of us, there's 116 of us now online, if any of you have made a religious pilgrimage. Maybe some of you have even gone to India, to the Buddha's holy sites. Maybe you've been to the 4 holy mountains in China, or maybe 1 of them or 2 of them. Wutaishan or 那个九华山 maybe, or Putoshan or Umeshan. Maybe you've been to the Taoist mountains, Huangshan, and all the wonderful, beautiful mountains in China. Or maybe you've been to a pilgrimage to City of 10,000 Buddhas, possibly. It's a pilgrimage site. The Buddhist world really values City of 10,000 Buddhas as a holy place. So wherever you've been, you know that feeling of anticipation and wonder at what you're going to find when you get there. Is it, and you have to, if you're thoughtful, maybe you've been on the pilgrimage at San Juan de Compostela in Spain, or maybe in Japan, some of those monastery pilgrimages. So no matter where the physical journey took you, ultimately the journey ends in your own mind. And one of the really satisfying qualities of Master Xuanzang's pilgrimage is that the way his autobiography is written, you can feel the emotion. You can feel the tension and the release as he faces all these hardships and yet never retreats and gets to his goal. And mind you, he's only halfway there. He hasn't returned. He hasn't studied yet. That's ahead, but this is a major milestone. So next week we'll find out what the story of the right Dharma keeper really is. 虽然他宣称他是到了那兰陀，他还没有开始上学，然后呢，他还要回去中国。不过他这种的就是说朝圣，身体到了，心里有成就感。他的内传，他的外传，就说很好读的一部分，一方面是因为虽然是从他的弟子外边写的，看着师傅这样做了，他们的笔法、他们的文法都有一种成就感所以到了那兰陀大学见面，跟这个正法藏法师，就是我们都会觉得，哎，有所得，无所得里边有所得All right. Dedicate merit, everybody. See you next week for more of this wonderful story. Every living being, our minds as one and ring with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in you, may our hearts wait to bring compassion, stir and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all the sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light dispel the darkness of our endless night. Because our hearts open, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate ones. May all become compassionate ones. May all become compassionate and wise.
是法师也有 original song
Oh, shoot, I forgot again. Okay, there we go. I need to remember to do that. Okay, let's bow to Guanyin. Bow in respect to the Venerable Master. See you all next week. 阿弥陀佛，拜now.
Thank you, 师法师。
阿弥陀佛。